Hey there, everybody. As you can see by the phenomenal structure, you can see I'm hanging out in the gateway. This is right at the entrance to the hub. Look at all the people packed in here. The gateway is the place to connect with peers, to get all the latest Cisco news and share stories and share successes with one another. If we swing around this way, you can see we're surrounded by people building their professional network. They're having fun here. They're getting involved with educational activities. Some of them are even winning cool prizes back over here as well. We've got customer success stories coming up here as well. And then directly across from us is the focus of our next segment. We're going to start talking about DevNet for the next few minutes. This is one of our favorite areas of the Cisco show floor and one of our favorite parts of the Cisco ecosystem. DevNet's doing amazing things, and we're headed toward that DevNet Innovation Showcase. We're going to toss it back out, throw it back out over to Rob in the studio, and I will see you over in the DevNet zone in just a couple of moments.
All right, Steve, thank you so much. Steve, please go get over there because there's a ton of information to cover. I've been waiting to be able to get into this topic. Not sure if we've heard Susie We Speak Not. That's probably what's going to come up in the here as our lead-in a bit. I'm going to have Chloe Kaufman and another gentleman, I'm forgetting his name, but he's going to be here with me. We're going to talk specifics on DevNet. One of my favorite areas because when I blink, everything absolutely changes because that is the market that we're playing with and that all the creative people that are running DevNet are bringing us into and helping Cisco convert into this notion of how do we become a much more software-focused, developer-oriented, cohesive company centered around code and what can be done more efficiently with automation, centralizing our API libraries, making them all consistent across product lines, everything. So, I think Steve, I heard, is already ready and set up. And good, I got a question for you. Sorry, I'm getting new notes on the as we do this here. What is your familiarity with DevNet? Was it new to you coming in, being security focused?
Well, I have to say that you know, I've seen kind of, because I'm at Cisco for like 7 years now, so I've kind of seen this evolution, right? So let's say 7 years ago, it wasn't such a big hype, but at the moment, it's all about DevNet at Cisco Live, for example. Right. And I see this as, you know, as we change our technologies and we make sure that, you know, we've got all the APIs and all the sorts of different products, you know, we actually make it accessible to our customers. Yeah. You know, programmability has become a really hot topic for them.
No, you're right on.
And I also feel like, you know, we are really moving away from, you know, us just giving this product to the customer saying this is how you can configure them.
Right, and how you're going to have to interact with it.
This is not how it works anymore, right? It's
exactly.
like, okay, how can I bring it into my infrastructure and make sure I hook it up with all sorts of APIs to my existing infrastructure, right? And in security, it's a big topic because, I mean, every customer of mine has, like, on average, 20 security products. Yeah. And a lot of the times, they are from different vendors, right? Right. So how could they integrate it together? And that's where, you know, that's why APIs is so important in cybersecurity space as well. Yeah, a lot of times you need a way to, different customers have embarked on their automation side, so they need a way to work our products and new technologies into a platform they're already working with, or maybe it's all the way back to how they're doing their own software development release cycles. We need to be able to play friendly with that as well. I think Steve is ready. Yeah, all right. Steve is ready over at the show floor. Steve, take it away.
I am. Thank you very much, Rob. I appreciate it. So now, as I mentioned, we are in the DevNet zone, and specifically we're hanging out near the Start Now zone back over here, and I've got Kareem Iskander with me. How are you, Kareem? Look at you, you're looking dazzling and sparky today. You're having more fun than anybody should ever be allowed to have. All right, so Kareem is a developer advocate with us here at Cisco. I'm so glad for the opportunity to talk with you here. DevNet has got so many things going on for so many people. We help people start with programmability, great learning content. We've got our sandboxes going on. What are you going to talk us through here as far as what's going on around us?
So what we've done this year, we've created this new zone for people that are trying to get started with DevNet, and we called it the Start Now Zone. And with the Start Now Zone, we are basically offering back-to-back Coding 101, Coding 102 classes for network engineers who are trying to get started with Python and coding, getting to know what APIs are. So we're running this every day, back-to-back for the last and the next day or so of the show. The other thing that we've done that we get a lot of questions about is, well, I'm trying to accomplish this task, or I have this use case. So what we've done is we've created a dedicated area. We called it the mentor area, and in the mentor area you can come book time with us, with one of our developers in DevNet, and we talk about APIs. What are you trying to accomplish? We walk you through the assets that we have, our learning labs, our code exchange, the code snippets that we have posted for you on our developer.cisco.com site. So you can come do that. If you don't know anything about DevNet, which I hope you do know by now, we have this area where you can come talk to one of our engineers about what is DevNet and how do you get started with. The area is called the Start Now Zone. It's within the DevNet zone here, and we have our best people on it.
That's like a total overview. I want to go back to what you were talking about with mentors here a moment ago, because you kind of put them both in. First of all, is this the first time that we've offered the Start Now Zone?
That is correct. That's the first time we've done it.
All right, so keep looking for it in a show near you that you will be attending the next time Cisco Live rolls around. Let me go back to this mentor idea. For the people who are watching the broadcast here who don't have an opportunity to be with us here in Barcelona, do they have to do the mentor program live, or can we offer this to them extended even beyond Cisco Live?
So to talk to one of us, there are multiple ways, right? For a sit-down one-on-one with us, we have the mentor area. You can reach us outside on our developer.cisco.com, where we have a WebEx Teams space where you can come ask these questions, and most of our team is there waiting for your questions and waiting for us to answer them.
Who was the driving force behind Start Now and behind the mentorship program?
It was actually the attendees. We listened and we heard that we want more coding classes. We want to know what can we do with DevNet. And they spoken to our SVP, Susie Wee, and it basically came down to us like, we need to create this area. We need to have this area known in the world of solutions, where somebody that is worried about, coming to the DevNet zone because they've never done any programming, we want a comfortable zone, a welcoming zone for them to get started. And so this is where it came from.
I actually really love that, because we talk so often about what it is that we are doing within our own Cisco vacuum. We've got brilliant people here all around us. Susie is amazing. She's the head of what's going on over here at DevNet, but letting the customer kind of drive what it is that we do and removing that intimidation factor. I've talked to a lot of people at past Cisco Live events and I've said, have you been in the DevNet zone? And their response is, well, I don't really know what to do. I haven't really gotten started, but I want to do it someday. What do you say to those people who are saying, I'll get to it someday. I really want to try it, but now's not the time. What do you say to them?
Well, we have the Start Now Zone. Yeah. So come by, find one of us. We're all passionate about APIs. We're all passionate about development and getting you started with all of what we know and what we've learned throughout this journey.
What about just making it simple and easy for people to access? And I don't think we can hammer that home enough. This is not as complicated as it sounds. I know there are a million things you can do within education, within DevNet, but how about just making it as easy as possible for people?
Yeah, I mean, this is essentially our goal, right? We've created this idea of journey for you outside of the DevNet zone, so you can actually go and start with a simple learning lab. Everything that we've done here, everything that you see here, all our coding sessions, all of the use cases are available on learninglabs.com, where you can start at home and learn the coding 101. So if you don't really want to come here, which I suggest, you should come and hang out with us, and you want to do it at your convenience of your own living room, learninglabs.cisco.com is a place to be too.
Learninglabs.cisco.com, over and over. Kareem, thank you so much. I appreciate the overview. We're going to head back to the studio, but just for a moment, because we're going to keep hanging out here at DevNet.
Thank you, Steve. Well, that was great. Great to hear that. learninglabs.cisco.com. And I think this is also extremely relevant to all of you who are watching at home. If you want to get started and you feel like, okay, I don't really know where to start, please go to learninglabs.cisco.com, and you can go and find the courses that take you from the scratch on how you can get started with scripting, with Python, with writing code, and how you can use that with our Cisco gear as well. So Rob, are you excited about Susie Wee's talk?
Yeah, no,
I am.
Susie Wee is always exciting. In fact, one of the things I remember, I don't know if you ever saw this presentation Susie Wee did. I don't remember if it was Cisco Live or not. It may have been, but the DevNet is doing stuff constantly around the world physically, but they also pour a ton of resources into their website, as you already called out. And they are about learning, and they're really about passion. And you talk about being afraid of going over there because you haven't done something or not. Oh my gosh, that's the last thing you should be afraid of. They are so charismatic about how they're handling development. If you're afraid of anything, it should be that you're going to get hooked. That you're going to go over there and you're going to be hooked, and you're going to be wanting to do different things.
I think you need.
Oh, did my mic die?
Sorry, yeah, your mic died.
Well, let me repeat that.
Yes, please do.
They are very passionate people over there, and what they're doing is they're making it so easy and so engaging. If you were afraid of anything, you should be afraid of getting kind of hooked and saying, okay, how much time am I starting to spend on this stuff? Because you have so much fun with the learning and the passion that they share. But the benefit of that is that so much of what they are doing over there translates directly, very, very quickly into doing your job more efficiently. Because when we talk about interacting with APIs, or be it SDKs, or getting into scripting and things and figuring out, well, where do I go beyond scripting and simply interact with things on a basis that says, I'm tired of doing the redundant things. I want to get more interactive and intelligent about what I do. They've got answers for that. You know what, I forgot what I was going to say. Well, the thing with Susie Wee, though, remember, she once did a whole presentation on stage holding her baby. Did you ever see that presentation?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Never seen that done before. And everybody just loves it because she is so smooth and so easygoing.
She's an amazing person.
And she's holding a baby the entire time, is sleeping there, and she's doing her whole presentation, and the audience is just, wrapped up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I hear that Nish is ready. So, Nish, you're at DevNet. You're going to tell us more about that. Over to you, Nish. Thanks.
Thanks, Agrim. Yes, I'm here in DevNet, and I'm here with Adrian. Hi, Adrian. How are you doing?
Nisha. Very good. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you. So we're here in DevNet.
Welcome.
Tell us a little bit around the co-creation zone that we're in.
Yes. So hello, everybody. So we're right now in the co-creation zone. This is the innovative hub from DevNet. You see, we're going to show a couple of solutions that we brought here for our attendees at Cisco Live Europe this year. And are we ready to show them around?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, let's see what's you've got here. So
first one, we wanted to showcase the power of Cisco DNA Center APIs. What we've done, we've built an augmented reality application that actually interacts with the DNA Center running the infrastructure on the floor here. We have 4 access points, and we get statistics, live information from these access points from DNA Center as it's happening, clients connecting, and all of that. Next, we're going to move along. Here, what we've done with Cisco Container Platform, we're trying to showcase check-in, check-out experience for a retail store, right? So with this, we have a facial recognition solution that we're using the NVIDIA Jetson and the Cisco Container Platform to actually make it a seamless experience for people getting into a shop, with a QR code and their face. They get authenticated, they walk in, pick up the products that they want, and then they walk out, and everything is pretty much seamless for them. A nice experience,
yeah, but Adrian, I'm quite intrigued by this device here. So could you tell us a bit more about what that is?
Yes, so like I was saying, the NVIDIA Jetson, in this case, is running our machine learning algorithm for facial recognition, right? So this is where part of the magic happens. The other major component in this is the Cisco Container Platform, where we have our Kubernetes on-prem solution, right? So we have our application running in there, and also there's a component running in the public cloud. So for privacy concerned people, especially around Europe, you now have the option of running Kubernetes on-prem, so you don't need to run it in the cloud anymore.
Right.
Perfect.
Okay.
And then the third demo that I wanted to show you that we brought here for our attendees is the Meraki Mv Cameras. The brand new ones, they have the option of counting people. So what we've done here is that we have on the floor in different sections of the DevNet zone, Meraki Mv cameras installed so that we can count the number of people in, for example, a specific workshop. We want to know, yes, how many people have been there today or last day, so that we know and we can keep track of the number of people. There's no facial recognition yet, but there's people counting at this point with the Meraki Mv cameras.
Great, and I'm really intrigued by this DevNet smart mirror. So what is this demo that you're showing here?
Yes, so this is actually the point of interaction with our Meraki Mv demo. So you would speak with the Meraki, with the DevNet mirror, and you would ask it how many people there are there, and there's some Google technology involved in this, also text-to-speech and speech-to-text that we're using for this. So that's your point of interaction with the demo, basically.
Great, thank you, Adrian.
Thank you so much.
All right, so we're now going to go back to Rob in the studio.
All right, guys, welcome back. We're in the studio, and we're going to get a little bit deeper here in DevNet. We've got a few friends, some new, some old, joining me in the studio. On the far side, Chloe. How are you doing, Chloe?
It's great to be here, as always, Rob.
You're in a new role. We'll talk about that in just a moment.
I am.
Then Charles, right?
Yes.
Is that correct? Oh, thank gosh, I got the names right. I'm not going to do last names, but I think they'll put it underneath here. And as we were talking a little bit about briefly earlier, because you guys, I blink and everything in DevNet has accelerated and changed, and you guys are passionate and young and just changing the world and moving that big ship of Cisco along with you, and I appreciate that because it's a lot of fun. But specifically around Exchange, and when I first heard Exchange, I'm like, what? You know, I'm thinking Microsoft or something like that, and we have our love-hate relationship with Exchange. This has nothing at all to do with it, so don't worry about Exchange at this point. From that, we want to talk about two different kinds of Exchange specifically with DevNet.
Yeah.
So Chloe, the first one is ecosystem, correct? What is ecosystem?
So let me, can I take it back a second? Let me talk about Exchange, Cisco DevNet Exchange.
Thank you.
So we've always been about, DevNet's mission has been about empowering the developer, right? From learning about Cisco's technologies to learning more about code with the learning labs and the sandboxes. And what we found with these open programmable platforms is that this innovation can happen. We can solve business problems, right? And this is done by using code. So what we've done is we've put both of the code and the solutions together under one roof, and we're calling it DevNet Exchange.
Okay.
So it is comprised of two components, ecosystem and code exchange. So in ecosystem exchange, we're talking about the business solutions. So what it is a catalog. It's growing, it's got 1,500 solutions on there now that solve business needs, essentially. So you can go on there, browse, explore. As an independent software vendor, you can or an individual developer, you can actually post your solutions there. So
that's key, right? Because the whole idea is we didn't create all those.
Right.
This is you're enabling a community, and this is part of how they exchange.
Yeah,
hey, I get
there we go.
Yeah,
no, absolutely. So it's a place to market and amplify your solutions to Cisco buyers and sellers.
Okay.
And now, and also though, the other side to that is as a Cisco customer, now you can find those solutions that can drive business value and that can solve your business problems.
Don't reinvent the wheel. Work with some smart developers. Get your developers in touch with our developers.
Absolutely. We're creating an ecosystem. There's the other word.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so the ecosystem side you represent. And Charles, this is a good place to bring you in and talk a little bit about that other part of Exchange. Now on your shirt, obviously you're a coder, you code as well?
Yeah,
I remember
software development background,
Chloe was in collaboration back when I first met her.
That's true.
And she was doing development on that side of things. And so live it, learn it, code it. I like your shirt. So tell me about the other side of Exchange.
Okay, so what Code Exchange is it's a curated set of GitHub repos.
Okay.
And they're there to help developers create applications using Cisco technologies and products. So if you go to Code Exchange, within it, you'll find hundreds of repos, and these are contributed by Cisco engineering teams, by our ecosystem partners, by open source communities, and by individual contributors.
Okay.
And anyone can use the code they find there to just accelerate their development of applications involving Cisco products, using our APIs, using our SDKs. Okay,
perfect. So then, Chloe, make this contrast a difference, because I was trying to think of where this would be. I want to switch microphones. They were telling me it may be cutting out, so I'm just going to go with this for safety. Draw the contrast to make sure we don't misunderstand what we look to one part of Code Exchange versus Ecosystem Exchange. Ecosystem Exchange is?
Yeah, so in Ecosystem Exchange, it is the fully packaged built solutions that you can go explore. So
it's really turnkey.
And really what we're targeting there is it's a marketplace for our Cisco customers to go in. And now we do tie it back a little bit to the developer, because what we want to say is if you have built and innovated on our platform, we now have a location for you to post those things.
Gotcha.
But what we're talking about Ecosystem Exchange is that catalog where our customers can come in and find solutions that solve business problems. And let me give you an example maybe.
Please,
and I don't want to get too technical in the weeds here. I know we are.
No, I'm going to pretend like I'm fully with you. So go right ahead.
So XMProd is in the IoT space, and we
what did you call it?
It's called XMProd.
XMProd.
Yes.
P-R-O-D.
Yes, PROD, one word. So they're in the IoT, or they're in the utility space actually, and what they've done is they've worked with our IoT technology to transform the utility space. So they used to have these physical boxes to secure the grid and make it reliable and to do performance upgrades. And what they've done is they worked with IoT edge technology to make this now a virtual upgrading system. And so they've posted that solution onto Ecosystem Exchange. So you can find it. So if you're in the utility space, let's say those verticals that exist, you can go on there and see them. Maybe that's something that would work for you, and you can reach out to them, as a Cisco buyer. And leverage that solution.
Okay, now pressure on you, Charles. GitHub success stories. Obviously, everybody's familiar with GitHub, and I'm glad we're engaged at that level as well. But is there anything that you would like to highlight in terms of say, hey, this is a great example of the kind of the value that's being driven out of that Code Exchange? Yeah, sure. So with Code Exchange, we're really catering for both users of it and contributors to it. So we really our target audience for the users is the DevNet community. We have over 500,000 developers, and the idea is that we want to provide code that they can use. For example, let's say you're working on a project related to network programmability, and it involves netconf and Yang, and you want some code that's written in Python. So you can enter that into Code Exchange, and you'll get back a set of repos that match your specific needs. Now, we also welcome and encourage contributions to Code Exchange. And so the idea there is that you can not only be giving back to the community, but at the same time, you're actually really building your own personal developer cred, and also getting some great exposure for your company and the products and solutions that you offer. And a great example of this is Joel King. So he works at Worldwide Technologies, and he contributed a repo in which he shows how to use Ansible together with Cisco Tetration in order to create security policies and telemetry streaming for hybrid clouds. So that's great for the exchange, great for the users, great for him and his company. So to contribute to Code Exchange, you go to Code Exchange, developer.cisco.com/Code Exchange. In the top right, you'll see a button. Click to submit. You fill out a form, which includes your GitHub repo, a link to it, and then we'll take a look at it. Okay, I love that. So guys, we're just wrapping up here. Any final point that you'd like to make? I love what you've got there, so we know where to go.
Yeah, now it's my plug turn. So it's developer.cisco.com/ecosystem. So, and if you want to hit the Exchange site, it's developer.cisco.com/exchange. So go there and you can see both and figure out what your path might be, and some of those paths might overlap, but that's where you can go to find both exchanges. Well,
in that developer.cisco.com, just to broaden it back up just for a moment here, is really handy to keep a bookmark on because the learning resources. I, as a person who does not code but want to be cool and hang out with people like yourselves, I find that very approachable, and I think more people should, because I like your focus on learning. I was thinking the word shaming, but I don't want that associated with it, because there's absolutely zero shaming or zero reservations anyone should have about going here, because at the very least you could have nothing and just enjoy hanging out with all the cool, awesome people who are wanting to share and make things easier and saying, hey, don't waste your time, don't reinvent the wheel. We may already have something for you, we're going to make it fun to interact. We're happy to share. You guys are awesome. I love what you're doing over there, and there's so much more we could spend time on. In fact, why don't we go back out on the floor and see if Steve can share some more with us.
Rob, this is what I'm all about. I'm a sharing, caring kind of a guy. So that was Rob just tossing over to us. I'm hanging out with Veer back over here on this side. Say hi.
Hi.
See, he does everything I tell him to do. We are going to continue to talk DevNet as we run up to the Innovation Showcase and what Susie is about to do. And as you can see, right now we're hanging out in the security area for DevNet. And the security story with DevNet is interesting. We were doing it a moment ago with Kareem. We started to step into the area of security APIs. We're going to talk about Umbrella, Firepower, and so on. So do me a favor, give us a quick overview of what we've got going on back over here. And you can sort of fill us in on the details, and then we'll dive in a little deeper.
Okay, great. Thanks, Steve. So what we have here is a very interesting game. You play as a role. In that role, you're a security analyst, and you have given a challenge to defend your company against ransomware. So basically what you do is you play that role. It's a storyline. Within the storyline, we put challenges for you, and those challenges are that you look at some observables which are given to you by some third party, and those you then use our technology underneath, which is Umbrella, which is ThreatGrid, which is AMP, and try to figure out whether those observables are reliable and whether you should defend against them or not. And then once you figured out using Umbrella, using ThreatGrid, and using AMP, you actually then deploy those and try to defend in the firewall, which is Firepower Firewall. So that's the whole challenge is about. So if you did everything correct, you are on the leaderboard. If you did not do everything correct, you get fired, basically.
Basically, I've been fired, and I promise I'm not on the leaderboard. I just want to kind of take a look. I know I'm making you guys work. Can we swing in a little bit and get just a little closer look at what the guys are doing back here behind us? What is the success rate so far of people playing the game? Are they getting it? Is it making sense to them? Are they doing really well at it?
So it's because we made it simple and there's a lot of help is there are a lot of people who are able to actually complete it. And another thing which we want people to walk away is that everything this game is doing is using APIs. So Umbrella APIs, Firepower APIs, AMP APIs, ThreatCrate APIs. So in the background, the whole game is interacting with our technologies using APIs. And you can learn more about them on developers.cisco.com. We have videos there. We have put videos around Umbrella APIs, how to use them, how to code against them. We have very good collection of videos for Firepower APIs, how to code against Firepower APIs. So yeah, we have a lot of content on developer.cisco.com, which you can use. And you can build something like this, an interactive game, or you can do some serious defending in your organization.
It's really cool. One of the things that I think we always have to keep a really bright eye on is how do we invite more people into the DevNet community? We were, again, having a conversation a moment ago that there are still people out there who feel a little intimidated to get involved. Are most of the people playing the game folks who are already within DevNet? Are they people who are relatively new to DevNet?
Yeah, so most of the people, I think we did this challenge in US, Cisco Live US, and it was extremely popular. And believe it or not, we did this same challenge in Black Hat USA. And they have security experts there mostly attending, and they also enjoyed the game. So the skill level, both skill level can enjoy this game. We made it accordingly. The main walkaway is that how easy it is to use our technology, especially Umbrella, ThreatCrate, Firepower. And we want people to understand that, and DevNet can help them interact with these APIs much better. You can learn to code against them. And we have Coding 101, Coding 102, a lot of interactive courses which you can use. On developers.cisco.com you can learn, and that will help you to jumpstart like doing most of your automation.
There are so many areas here at Cisco Live where people can get the gamification approach to learning about these capabilities. You mentioned AMP for endpoints, really an excellent thing for people to wrap their heads around. I got to ask, are people winning anything if they do a really good job at this?
So there are some prize. You should come over and play and have fun, and you will learn something.
It's win a date with Veer. He's not going to tell you that, but he's just up for dating. He's kind of open to any possibilities.
Absolutely.
No, this is really fun stuff. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad it's been so successful. We will see you at Cisco Live again in San Diego. We'll see you, I guess, at Black Hat RSA maybe as well. Maybe.
I'm in Cisco Live Melbourne at the same time, which conflicts with RSA.
There you go. All right, fine. You can take the game there. Veer, thank you. Rob, we're going to head back up your way in the studio, which is just across the way. I'll wave at you as we give it back over to you.
Where is he? Where is he? Okay. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate you waving me over here. So yeah, we're not too far apart. Don't forget, the hub is the center of everything, including DevNet. We talked about Gateway a show or two earlier. We talked about, of course, the studio here. Social media is in the center with their ever-polite DJ who never overwhelms us whatsoever. And then a couple other things going on. Self-paced labs right behind us here. There is so much to do. This is the center of the hub, if you will, where everything is going on. But if you get a chance to go wander through there, hopefully you got a feel for that, both with what Steve was covering from the area. DevNet has a lot of hands-on things. They've got a very clear demarcation that says, hey, if you are unsure of where to start here. It literally says, I almost see it, DevNet start here. So start there, but you're going to have trouble not being pulled into a bunch of other interesting things, from little mini theaters with guys doing demonstrations of various things that they've come up with, whether it be, hey, here's how I'm going to integrate Alexa to do your tweeting for you on your router. Speaking of which, I need to get them to do that for me. And then also just any level of learning whatsoever. Extremely approachable and a whole lot of fun. Of course, Steve covering DevNet and security, which is part and parcel of everything that we do around here. But we're about to go over to the showcase in a moment. We're going to hear from Susie Wee, who is the grand poobah, if you will, the expert on everything about that we're doing here. I'm going to listen in because I want to learn a little bit more about where they're going next. Because as we mentioned earlier, and if you can't tell already, these things change fast. And that's exactly what they're built for. There's a team of evangelists that are ready to help you out with absolutely anything that you need. And it's going to be an interesting showcase. Susie never fails to put on a good educational presentation, if you will. So check out with DevNet, come by the social media area, come by, say hi with us at the studio. We've got Steve over here poking his head in, just trying to make a scene, maybe help me buy some time before we go to the showcase. All right, Steve, thank you. Appreciate you just seeing if he can break my concentration, which really isn't that hard. Actually, just anything shiny around here does it quite easily. But we're heading over to the Innovation Showcase, I believe, in just a moment. How much more time do we have? I'll just ask. 20 more seconds. Okay, that's still accurate. Okay, fantastic. We've got a shot of it I think we'll be seeing in just a moment. But Susie Wee going to talk to us about what the latest happenings are with DevNet, how you can get involved, how to interact. This is the place to be, so check back after the showcase. We'll be sure and help you out with even more. You guys take care.